As with any radio station, we need to hire some DJs. So let's do that. When we want to add a new voice to our station or hire a DJ virtually, we would click Add DJ Voice. Once we are in the Add DJ Voice screen, we can then schedule this voice for an air shift at the time and day that we specify. So in this case, I want to have this voice from Sunday through Saturday, and I want them on the air from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Now, this name field is the name that the DJ will use on the air. So if we wanted to call our DJ John Smith, we would simply type John Smith, and every time that voice refers to itself, it will call itself John Smith. We can then go into our 11 Labs account and choose any voice that is either provided by 11 Labs, or we may have cloned or added as a professional clone to our account. If the name is available on your account to use in the text-to-speech app, you can also select it from this drop-down menu within Voitrai. But please note, this is only populated after you have put your 11 Labs API key into the global config. Next, we want to give the DJ a personality. Every DJ needs a little personality. So, in this case, you have full control as the administrator, the program director, the general manager of your radio station. You can identify the personality that you want to give this DJ. You are a funny DJ with a great sense of humor. You like to tell dad jokes. Now, we can also add more to this personality. You have a love for chocolate. May sound silly, but these are some of the items you can put into your DJ's personality, and this helps give every break on the station a bit of personality and variety at the same time. Next, you would need to set the settings for this voice. Now, these settings mirror what you would find in the settings in 11 Labs. But you only need to have one voice set up in your Voitrai install or your Voitrai server to start generating tracks. Our next section to move on to generating actual voice tracks is to have a prompt. Just like talking to an LLM of any shape or size, you need to have a prompt to give it instructions. So we click on Track Prompts. Now again, I'll back up. Prompt commands, track prompts. Now in here, you can have everything programmed, whether it's a news, a weather, a top of the hour news, talking between two songs. All those can be individual track prompts. For example, on this radio station, the top of the hour is actually a weather forecast. So as you'll see in here, we give it a name. This is an internal name only for internal use. This first box is where we would put an opening or introduction for our voice track. Something to tell the AI model, hey, this is where you start. Next, in the direction box, we need to give this model a direction. What is it going to create? We need to give it the content. We don't leave this up to the AI to generate the content. The main purpose for Voitrai and our slogan, as you may have heard us say before, we are human curated, AI generated. So what that means is we have to provide the AI the right information. And the way we do that is through several placeholders that are built into the Voitrai system. So, for example, in the case of this weather forecast, create a short weather forecast with the following information. So we're giving the AI model instructions. In this particular case, it is pulling in information from the National Weather Service, NOAA, and the entire full forecast for the region I've specified in my global config will be loaded in to this placeholder. So when the information is passed along to the API for the LLM, whether it is OpenAI or Gemini, which you have the option of either or with Voitrai, the entire forecast is then fed to the AI model to have the updated information for it to formulate its weather forecast. Current temperature is also sent over with the data. So we're providing the data to the LLM to write the script for us. Finally, we want to limit the response. We don't want a lot of extra words. We got to get back to the music as quick as possible. So that means we need to tell the model, don't talk as much. So your response must be 55 words or less. Finally, this last box is a tag box. The tag box is read verbatim. Exactly as it is written in here is exactly how it will be read by the voice model. What's the difference? The first section, this direction section here, is instructions where an AI LLM will write a script. This last box does not go to the LLM to be written and is tacked on to the end of the script after the LLM has written the script. Therefore, you can always have your voice track end with the same closing all the time. Other settings in here are that you can schedule different prompts to fall at different times and days, but have the same ID when called for by your automation system. But for the sake of this quick tutorial on how to get you started, we're going to check all and leave it for all 7 days as well. Next, every prompt needs an ID. This ID will be referenced by your automation system. Finally, you do have the option of writing every voice track in verbatim. If you so desire, you would ignore this box and ignore this box and only use this box, as it says here. Type all text here if using verbatim method. This is if you want to type out each and every voice track that your station plays. Voitrai is truly designed to be a set it and let it do its thing. I don't want to say set it and forget it mentality, but it is designed to automatically work in the background creating voice tracks so that you as a program director or a general manager or whatever role you have in the station, you can focus on building a better product. So if you so desire, you can make it verbatim, but in most cases, you will be set in AI mode. Finally, if you remember from the previous part of this tutorial, I explained that you can have a voice that's excluded from rotation, but use it elsewhere. And if you remember the example of Derek Johnson, who was not in the rotation, we had him excluded from rotation as a DJ, but we can hit this drop down and choose any of our DJs that are in our list of DJs. So in this case, Derek Johnson. So now, when this prompt is generated of this weather forecast, it will use the voice that's specified for the name Derek Johnson. Those are the basic settings to get a prompt set up to create voice tracks. Now, the prompts, as I explained, they can be used for a variety of different items. In this case, this one is set to mention a PSA, a public service announcement, a station slogan, station name, the next artist, the song that is coming up. These are all placeholders that can be put into the prompt. So if I wanted this to have an opening like station name. Now, you don't have to memorize all of these commands. They're all made available through this drop-down. So if I want to have the station slogan, I can add that. If I want to say, I tell the model, the song that just played was, and then I go in here, and I can say previous artist, and let's get the title, previous. Now, we've given the instructions back to the LLM model what song just played, so it can incorporate that into its script. There are many different ways that you can add data into your scripting, and we will go more in depth into what each and every one of these items does, including how to add promos, PSAs, topical information, all in our next tutorial. But what you saw here was a basic quick start tutorial